Hello everyone, welcome back to Salon, Belle Ame Secrets, episode 3. I'm actually, oh my god, someone's like trimming their grass. It's literally all I can hear and I don't know when it's actually going to end. Um, but I'm actually back by myself today for another solo episode because I've literally just got so much to talk about. And since the first and second episode have come out, I've been speaking to people and they've been like, you need to talk about this, you need to talk about this in the pod. So I've literally been brainstorming like every day of all these things I've got to yap about, which probably no one even cares about, but I'm going to yap about them anyway because someone might care. You never know. But yeah, so I thought I might do a solo one for all these random things I've got to talk about and air off my chest. But yeah. Also, before I get into the episode, I had all the people that sent me in the horror stories reply back to the episode, like following up on the stories. And basically, for anyone was wondering, because I've had so many clients come in the past week and be like, I need to know more about all these stories. The child who almost pooed on the seat, he was 5. He was 5, and the last check he sent me, it said she was literally traumatized and she saw everything, but he didn't poo, luckily. So that, oh my god, I could not get over that. Me and Tilly were literally laughing about that for about half an hour afterwards. Like, she couldn't believe it. I don't even know, like, what I would do in that situation. That is literally my worst nightmare. What else was there? Oh, the client who told me about the girl who used nail glue on her eyes, she sent me pictures of her in hospital. Her whole face was swollen and like a balloon. I felt so bad for her. It was awful. I literally texted her back and I was like, girl, what the hell? Like, oh my god, it was so bad. She said she literally couldn't breathe. Like, it was awful. And I actually feel so bad for her because I bet she's scarred from lashes for life now. I can't think what other stories we said about. The prison one, about the prisoner. I don't have any update on that. There was nothing else really to say. I can't even remember what other stories we spoke about. But yeah, honestly, my clients that have been coming in the past week since I posted that episode have been dying. They're like, Paige, what the hell? But yeah, I basically wanted to come on this episode and I like was mind mapping all these random things that I've been thinking and talking about with Ellie because, as I said, I did my lash lift and tint course with her. I think it was like just before I filmed the first episode, and we were talking about so many things, and I was like, "There's so much I want to say, but I just don't know if like anyone will care to listen because, like, I wanted to share some like personal experience that I've had." Based around like the stigma in the industry and like people basically telling me that like I need to get a proper job and that like basically beauticians are just thick. I just thought it'd be something really interesting to talk about because it's something that I'm so passionate about because obviously this is my love and my interest and like this is my career. This is what I absolutely love doing. It's like, and I feel like there is such a stigma around it. And I was talking about it to Ellie. I was like, do you think anyone actually want to listen to this? And she was like, yeah, because people starting out might actually have the same issue. It's not an issue because obviously like it's such a minority of people that kind of feel that way. Obviously the majority of people don't think like that, and like I have so many supportive friends and family and obviously clients who don't, like, they know that it's a real job and they obviously like are so supportive of me and everything I do and they know what goes on like as that what it takes to run a business. But I just thought it would be so interesting to come on and talk about the things that like people don't tell you about running a business because I don't know, I feel like doing a 1 day lash course, it teaches you how to be a lash tech, not how to run a business. And I think it's so important to know like how important it is to run a business. I keep saying important, but it is like they don't teach you in a 1 day course, like, you know, how to set up an online booking system, how to properly price your work, how to block out time for admin, like how to stock check, how to find an accountant, how to record your taxes, your expenses, and things like that. Like, again, I'm in literally no position to be giving anyone any advice. Like, I'm obviously just talking from personal experience and like from what I've kind of learned in the year and a half. Well, it's been a year of me doing it solo, so I just feel like it is actually so hard, and I don't want this to come across negative whatsoever. Like, I just thought it would be nice to talk about because it's something that I'm so passionate about. But I feel like if you're not as lucky as like I was, obviously I worked for Ellie for 6 months when I first started, and she's been in the industry I think 8 years, and like she taught me how to run a business, not just how to be a lash tech. but I don't even know if this is something that exists, but I feel like a masterclass or a course on like how to actually run a business should be a thing. Like, I don't know if this is a thing. Can someone let me know? Like, someone message me or comment if this is actually a thing, because I think that if it's not a thing, sorry, I've been lashing all day. It's literally like, what is the time? It's literally 8:30 right now while I'm filming this, so I'm literally like got lashes everywhere, and that's why it's dark now outside, because I started filming this when it was light and now it's dark. But yeah, so I don't even know if this is actually a thing. If this is a thing that already exists, please message me or comment and let me know, because if it's not, I feel like that should really be something that someone invests into doing. Like, I don't even know if anyone would be interested in that, but like how to actually properly run a business and all the behind the scenes things that, people don't see. And again, like I say, I'm talking about a very few minority of people, because like all my clients and all my friends and family are so supportive, and they obviously do see me do all these things and they understand how much it actually takes to run a business. But when you're first starting out, you do your 1 day course and you're thrown in the deep end, like, who's teaching you all these things? Like, you just kind of have to learn it yourself, I guess. Like I said, I was so lucky that I didn't have to learn it myself. Like, I had Ellie. But a lot of it, when I went solo, I did have to learn myself. Like, no one tells you where to find an accountant. Like, how are you meant to find an accountant? People don't, no one's telling you how to keep track of your expenses and stuff, unless, I mean, I'm sure you could text your educator or your trainer about these things, but, some people might not want to, especially if you've done like a group training course and you had like 7 other people with you. You might not feel comfortable just texting your trainer and being like, oh, how do I do this? Or you might not even know that you have to do these things. Do you know what I mean? So I just really wanted to come on, like, talk about it all, because I've been brainstorming for the past few days about all these different random things that, you don't see when you're running a business. And I don't know, like, I really wanted to talk about some experience I've had with people not being very kind to me about my job. But I didn't want to I was really hesitant to come on the podcast and talk about it, because obviously I don't want to come across negative or like be rude about anyone, because obviously it is just lack of knowledge, and that is why people say the things they do, because they don't know obviously how much it goes into being in this industry. They just see it as, I sit around all day and talk to people and stick pretty little lashes on their face. Like, I think that minority of people, that must be what they think. Obviously, again, not being negative, this is not everyone. Like, this is a very small group of people that obviously think this, but there is such a stigma in the beauty industry. People just think we're dossers. I shouldn't say dossers. People just think that, like, it's a cop out, or like we're thick. And I'm just, obviously, I absolutely love my job. It's my whole world. So I'm so passionate about it. And I thought, I'm going to come on and talk about all the things that you don't see behind the scenes. I think in the last 2 episodes, I've been talking about content and how important content is and how it really does drive a business. I don't know if drive a business is the right word to use, but how important it is for a business, like crucial in these times, I would probably say. Like, it does really take a lot of time, and it is a full-time job in itself. And, it is hard work. Like, even little things like stock checking, like, that sounds ridiculous, but that takes time. Like, I don't factor in enough time to do these things. I end up doing it at like 9 p.m. when I finish work. But even replying to messages, I think I finish every day with like 17 unread messages. And that is just because it takes so much time. Like, do you know what? That a booking system saved my life. I use Fresher, and I've had a couple girls, actually. This is another reason I want to make this episode about, the things no one tells you about running a business, because I've actually had a few girls message me recently after the last 2 episodes being like, how on earth do you even have, like, how does Fresher work? And I just thought, like, if you haven't got anyone to tell you these things, like, you just kind of have to figure it out on your own. And having a booking system like Fresher has literally saved my life. A lot of people actually don't like Fresher. I don't know why. A lot of people say, I don't know if you get charged for it. I'm unsure. I don't know. I actually not. I know I don't get charged for it, but as in it takes a percentage. But I don't know. Some people don't like Fresher. If anyone could let me know why they don't like it, or if they am I not meant to be using it? I don't know. I've never had any problems with it. I think it's amazing. I'm so thirsty. I literally haven't drank all day while I've been lashing. Lash checks know how it is. Like, you just literally forget to drink and eat. But yeah, I really like Fresh. I've never had any problems with it. And I genuinely think it's the best thing ever because, you know, people can just go online and book themselves. I've got my settings on so that you have to pay a deposit to book. And I was actually explaining this to two girls that I lash text in the last week. And I just thought it'd be really good to come on here and be like, look, you know, it is actually all these things, you know, you kind of have to figure out for yourself. Obviously, I had Ellie to teach me how to set up a fresher and stuff, but it's, you know, having a booking system, I literally don't get how people don't have a booking system. Like Tilly, who I had on episode 2, she uses a paper diary. And I always say to her, how on earth do you use a paper diary? Like, I have to have Fresher. It's so good. Like, it sends people reminders about their appointment. What else did it do? Oh, I've got it set up so I've got all my patch tests and consultation forms and client notes on there as well. Um, yeah, it's amazing. People can reschedule their appointments. Also, I was going to talk about policies and how important it is to have like strict policies in place. When I first started, obviously I was being a people pleaser because I just started and I didn't want, like, obviously when you first start you want clients, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like, no, this needs to stop. And now I'm so strict on it because, again, it's literally my full-time wage, like, but people won't treat your business like a business unless you treat your business like a business. And yeah, I know that sounds really bad, and again, I'm not in any position to give advice, like, this is just from personal experience. But yeah, I mean, I had I really want to talk about this is what I was saying in the beginning, how I didn't want to come across like negative or like talk bad about anyone, because now I just find it funny. But I just thought it'd be nice to come and share my experiences I've had with people negatively looking at my job, because it might make someone else feel better if they've had any experiences like this. Or I'm sure I know most of my audience is lash techs. If any of my lash tech friends or you girls haven't had any experiences like this or anything, please text me or put it in the comments and let me know, because I'm dying to hear. But I basically had with a woman once, this is when I first went solo, and she basically said to me like, what was she saying? She was a lot older than me. She said, she went, oh, I would never be able to do this I'd never be able to like do lashes full time because I've got bills to pay. And I was like, oh, you know, like, I do pay rent, like, I live with my mum and dad, so I was like, I do pay rent, I pay for my car, I pay for car insurance, like, I do have things to pay for. Again, like, this is when I first went solo and I was quite like shy and wanted all the clients, just wanted to keep everyone happy, didn't want to like be outspoken or anything. I'm still not really like that now, but obviously I found it really difficult. It was an awkward situation. And she was like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you haven't got like a house to pay for or anything. And I was like, oh, you know, like, I do want to save up to move out like in the next year or so. Like, and she was like, oh, is your partner like okay with renting then? And I was like, oh, by the way, there's nothing wrong with renting. This sounds really bad. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with renting, like, literally. But I said, oh no, like, I wanna own my house, like, I wanna get a mortgage. And she was like, oh, is this like allowing you to do that then? And I was like, what? Like, is what allowing me to do what? Like, I was literally speechless, like, speechless. I was like, what? What do you say to someone when they say that to you? Like, and I was literally sat there lashing out, like, oh my god, like, what do you say to someone, like, when they say that to you? And it just made me, like, now I can literally laugh at it because I'm like, whatever, like, you clearly don't know anything about the industry, you don't understand how it is to run a business, like, that's absolutely fine. It's lack of understanding. That's how I see it now. Whereas back then I was really upset and I was like, oh my god, like, she clearly doesn't think that this is like a real job, like, like, am I, do you know what I mean? I was kind of like thinking it, and I thought, would you ever say to a teacher, because a teacher is deemed as a proper job, oh, are you like able to pay your bills with this? Like, what? Like, I literally, my brain cannot understand why the beauty industry has such a negative perception and a stigma around it, because you would never say that to a nurse or a doctor or anyone. Or actually, even funnier, I had someone once say to me, oh god, I can never be a nail tech because it's not like a proper job, and like, that's going to look really bad on my CV when I want to go for like an office job or like, you know, like a real job. I was like, pardon? Like, what? So like, if you want a real job, like an office job, then, you know, like, you wouldn't be saying that to someone there, would you? Like, oh, is this allowing you to pay your bills? Like, I just genuinely find it actually mad. What I find more funny is that these people that say these things are paying me. And I genuinely feel like saying to them, do you think you're paying me in peanuts? Like, what the hell? Like, I literally find it so funny now because obviously, again, I don't want to be rude about anyone, but it obviously is just lack of understanding about, you know, how much it does go into running a business and like how hard us business girls work. Like, it is not easy. I would never have it any other way because I love my job more than anything. It consumes my life, but I would like in the best way possible. And I wouldn't want it any other way. But I saw a TikTok the other day and it was like, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, so I decided to be a lash tech and work 24/7. And that is literally so true. It is a 24/7 job, but I actually would never have it any other way. It is the best thing in the world. Like, I think I'm quite lucky as well because if you know me, then you know I don't drink and I don't really go out. I don't like going out. I don't find it enjoyable. I find it extremely anxiety inducing. I really hate drinking. I used to drink a lot when I was younger. Not a lot, but like when I was like 18, 17, 18, I used to love going out. But as soon as I turned like 19, I actually hated it. And I haven't drank since I was like probably even before I was 19. Like, I'll literally have like one glass of wine sometimes if I'm out for dinner with Lewis, but like, I will never go out in like a club situation or like setting. I actually hate it. It literally gives me the worst anxiety. All my girls literally think I'm a grandma because it's not even like my friendship group is boring. All my best friends go out every weekend basically and drink. Like, it's literally just me. I'm just a grandma. But I definitely think that like being a grandma, being boring, has actually done me favours for my business. But like for me, I don't personally want to spend my Saturday night going drinking. And this is all like just me personally. Like, this isn't about anyone else, but me personally, I don't want to spend my Saturday night going out drinking and being hungover on a Sunday because Sundays are my only day off. And I like to get up early and sort my life out on a Sunday. Like, I cannot afford to be spending my Sunday in bed. And like, I know that I'm literally the minority that feels like this because like my mum and dad drink, like they love going out. Like, all my friends love drinking, my partner likes drinking. It is just me, unfortunately. I just can't have fun, clearly. But no, but I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I actually admire the girls that own businesses and do drink because I wish I could. Like, again, it's not because of my business that I don't drink. I personally just can't. Like, I just can't do it. But I actually admire the girls that, you know, run businesses and still go out and drink and do whatever because, like, that must be hard. Like, it does really help me out that I don't do all these things because obviously it makes me more, like, I have more time for my business. Not that these people don't have more time for their business, but as in, like, do you know what I mean? I think it, I think it was Paige Louise who owns P. Louise. Oh my god, we've actually got the same name. I've actually never even thought of that. She is such an inspiration. Like, she is such a businesswoman, and I look up to her so much because like she's quite similar to me in the sense like she's spoken about on a TikTok before that she doesn't drink and she doesn't like going out, and like I admire that so much as a businesswoman in that sense because obviously like I kind of feel like an odd one out that I don't drink and like I don't like going out partying and stuff. And people always say to me like, "Oh, you're wasting your life away. Like, you're so young." But that's just like, I just feel like I would be wasting my life away if I did that because I don't enjoy it. Um but yeah, I feel like that helps me so much with like my motivation because I couldn't even imagine being hungover on a Sunday and like trying to get my work done. I plan all my content on a Sunday night for the rest of the week. And like that takes time, like filming and editing content. And, you know, no one prepares you for that when you do your 1 day lash course. Like, they tell you how to take a good angle of a picture, but, you know, no one prepares you for how much time it takes to do content. And that is a full-time job in itself. And a lot of people like don't like doing content, but it is so it's so crucial in the times that we're living in now, like to run a successful business. I feel like maybe if you've been in the industry for so long, it probably wasn't so important then. I don't know. I just drank in the mic as well. I'm literally probably just yapping on about nothing. I don't even know if this is even interesting to anyone. I hope I help at least one person out, because like I said, from the first and second episode, I can't believe the response I've had, like the amount of messages I've had from people, like even like beginner lash techs being like, this was such an inspiration, like you helped me out so much with your video, like this, like your advice is amazing. I was like, girls, why taking advice from me? Like I've literally been doing this a year. I'm basically still a beginner myself. I have no idea what I'm on about. I'm like, I feel so bad coming on here talking about my personal experiences and stuff. That's why I'm saying it, like I'm not giving advice, I'm just telling about my experiences and like things that I've learned along the way, because I'm in no position to give any advice. Like I'm still in the very beginning of my lash journey, career, whatever. Like I'm learning new things every day, and I still make mistakes every day. But I just still thought that if I came on and shared my experiences, that maybe it would help someone, or, you know, I just like talking, to be fair. I actually just really like talking. So me coming on here talking about all this is just enjoying for me, to be honest. Probably all sat here watching this like, Paige, your last episode was actually really interesting and funny, and now I'm literally just blabbing on about boring business stuff that probably no one cares about. But like, it'll make me feel better that I've told someone else about my experiences. But like I say, I'm not talking about my family or my friends or anything, because as soon as I told my family that I wanted to leave uni and do this full time, they were so supportive, like so supportive. They were like, girl, do it. Like, don't waste your time being unhappy, because I was at uni I did 2 years doing social work at uni. I got a diploma. I didn't drop out and leave with nothing. I got a certificate of higher education. Like, it just wasn't for me. I really enjoyed social work. And a lot of the skills I learned from social work have literally helped me so much in owning a business, because they teach you so much about yourself and how to be self-aware and self-critical, that it has literally helped me so much. So I'm actually so grateful for the experience of going to university and like learning about it all, because it really did help me. But yeah, so I don't know where I was going with the story. Oh yeah, so I left at the end of year 2 and I did a 6-month placement in a primary school. And doing that alongside lashing was so tough. Like it was really hard. And I'd only just started out. I think I'd only gone solo for about a month into my placement. No, I've been doing my placement. I was in the last month of my placement when I went solo. That was it. And that's when I started getting busy. And then my third year was going to be a longer placement, and it was going to be further away, and it was just going to be like crazy. And I said, you know, this is not what I want to do. Like, I want to do lashing full time. I want to make a business out of this. I want to make a career out of it. Like, I think I can do something really good with this. And that is what that's what I want to do. And I was like, I'm going to leave. And my mum and dad were like, yeah, do it. Complete your last year, complete your second year and leave. And like, they were so supportive. But I have had like a couple people, not close to me, like not relevant that enough for me to like bother me, but like people be like, oh, you dropped out of uni, like, well, that's your decision, so do what you want. And I was a bit like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, as in, like, as if like me being a social worker would have, me being unhappy as a social worker and doing something I wouldn't want to do was better than focusing on my career and doing what I want to do. And like, that is genuinely like the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. Like, oh, you know, you don't actually care about what I want. You just want me to go to university and kind of think that that's me doing something good for myself. Like, when in reality, I would have been unhappy. Like, why would you waste your life away doing something you're unhappy with just so that people think you have a proper job? But, you know, you learn more from the negatives than the positives. And I think it's made me learn to not care what anyone thinks of me as well, because I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm doing what I love every single day. And I have so many amazing people around me that allow me to do what I love every single day. Like my regular clients and stuff. Like, you know, these people, these very small minority of people, do not see how much work goes into running a business. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's so blindsided. Is that the right word? I'm literally going on a tangent right now, talking really seriously. I never normally do this. Now I'm saying big words I don't even know the meaning of. I feel delirious. It's been a long day of lashing, and I'm coming on here talking all serious, and no one probably even wants to hear this. You're all probably watching this like, Paige, shut up. What are you yapping on about? But because I'm not even being normal right now. Like, normally I'm like, la la la, all the time, and I'm actually being really serious, which I don't actually like about myself. But I just feel like I had so much to say about this topic. Who is that girl who literally got slated on TikTok that was like, try being an influencer? Like, that's probably the hate that I'm going to get from this podcast episode, because people are going to be like, oh my god, she thinks she's got a hard life. Like, it's not that hard work, babe. Like, that is what I'm worried that people are going to come back and say, because it actually is hard work, and it is actually a lot of work, and I don't want to get slandered now for making it out like it's replying back to messages is a long job. But that's not what I'm trying to say. But anyway, my point was, being in the beauty industry can literally open so many doors for you. Like, the amount of people that become educators and trainers and like open training academies, the amount of people that create their own product lines for lashes and things, like Lashes by Holes, who I'm a brand ambassador for. She has her own product range, and she's a trainer. Like, it's incredible. You know, so many people become influencers from being lash techs. Like, social media is an incredible job that so many people are now doing, and like, there's just so many different avenues you can go down from being a lash tech. I've blabbed on for about 45 minutes about the things no one tells you about running a business, and how hard actually running a business is, and about the stigma in the beauty industry. But I don't think I actually made sense in any of this episode, to be honest. I think I was just blabbering on about my head, all the things were in my head that I wanted to say. I feel like I was just blabbing on about it, and probably none of those points even made any sense, and they're probably so irrelevant to most of you, but I just really want to talk about it because I don't know, it's just something that I feel so strongly about. It, like, made me think, like, no, I'm gonna come on a podcast and I'm gonna put these people on blast and be like, no, do you know what? I work my arse off, and I'm not ashamed to sit here and say it. Like, I do work hard, and I think that it's so unfair for us girls in this industry that do work hard to be put down like that. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a hater. I don't like that. And do you know what? I really, really, really shouldn't say this on a podcast because it's so unprofessional, but hating girls ain't happy girls, and happy girls ain't hating. Period. That is all I have to say, because again, it doesn't affect my life because I find it funny, but I've definitely learned from it that you can't let these very small minority of people affect you. But yeah, I think that's what also makes me nervous about being on TikTok, because I love posting TikToks, and I clipped up some videos from episode 2 and put them on TikTok, and oh my god, did they do well on views. Like, they got a lot of views and a lot of comments, and I was waiting to get hated on. I can't lie, I was so scared that I was going to get hated on, because I do just say whatever I think, and you know, it can get me in some trouble sometimes, and it has got me in some trouble sometimes. And I think that's what's scary about having a podcast, because I do kind of just say how I feel. And I think that, again, is why I wanted to make this episode, because there was a lot on my mind about this topic in general, and I was like, you know what, I want to come and sit down and talk about it because it's so important to me. And yeah, that is how I feel. But with that being said, I've spoken for about 45 minutes about random stuff that probably no one cares about, but I hope it has actually helped someone or made someone feel better. So if it has, let me know, because that would make me feel good that I haven't just rambled on for 45 minutes. But I really enjoyed doing my last episode with Tilly, having a guest on. It was so fun. I loved it, and I have actually got a few guests lined up that I want to come on soon. And I did want to do like a mix of solo and guest episodes, because like I said, I have so much to talk about and things I want to talk about. And, you know, having guests on will be so fun as well. But if anyone has any guests they want coming on, not even just lash techs, just in general, like, please let me know, because I would love to hear what you all want to see, because obviously I have so many thoughts and things that I've got planned, but I want to know what everyone else wants to see and wants to hear. So please let me know in the comments or send me a message. But yeah, I've got a few guests lined up that I've got planned, but I just want to come and do a little solo app, because I know having guests on is so fun, because I have someone to talk to. Like, at the moment, I'm just talking to the camera. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Yeah, let me know what else you want to see coming up on the pod. It's actually my 1 year anniversary of Salon, Belle Ame on Monday. I don't know when this episode's going to come out, Well, my anniversary is on the 17th, so if it comes out on the 17th, then happy 1 year to me. If it comes out before then, yeah. I'm actually getting a tattoo for my 1 year anniversary tomorrow, which is so exciting. I'm going to be posting on my Instagram story. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, it's Salon Belle Ame. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone for watching. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you're listening on Spotify, follow and give a 5-star review. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and like, and tell me what you thought of this. If this has helped anyone this episode, please let me know, because it will make me feel so much better. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Love you.